everybody. My name's Kill, and this is the 5th episode of the Python tutorial for beginners. And in this episode, we're going to briefly go over for loops. So, this episode's been coming for a while, and I basically just kept recording it and not being satisfied. I don't know. So, we'll see if this one makes it out. Okay, so let's start off. What are for loops? For loops are a tool that allows you to iterate through a list or an object or a string or something like that. So for example, we are going to create a list, and for this list we're going to have a for loop. So we'll say for num, we're just going to abbreviate, in numbers, that's the name of the list, right? Colon. We'll say print, except we'll spell it right, print num. And it should print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's run it. See what we get. Boom. So you can see you can quickly iterate through something. So if for whatever reason you had to print out the contents of a list or something like that, you can do this with tuples and dictionaries as well. A very quick way of doing this is with the for loop, because what it's saying is for, and this is the key word. This kicks off the code block. Basically, it knows that you're about to do something with the for loop. It's saying for num, and this is a placeholder. You could say I, you could say X, whatever you want. You'll see it a bunch of different ways. This is something that super confused me for a long time. I just didn't understand how you decided what to put here. It doesn't matter. Uh, I don't know why. Maybe it won't confuse everybody as like it did me. But yeah, it just threw me. Like I just couldn't get it. But yeah, this means nothing. This is literally just a placeholder. It just has to match this. Um, and all this is for x in numbers, print x. And so basically what it's going to do is x is going to assume the value of the first index here, and so it's going to assume 1. It's going to print that, and then like I said, it's a loop. So for as long as there are numbers or x or whatever the placeholder is in this list, it's going to iterate to the next one, assume its identity, print it out, boom, and then all the way to 5, and then there you go. Now this is the same with a list of objects. So these are integers, obviously. We could do strings, so we could do another one like this. And we'll say word equals is that how you spell Franklin? Man. Okay. We have a string here, Franklin. And we're going to iterate through the string, right? So we'll say for char in word. And so char is how you abbreviate character, and in other programming languages it is a shortcut, like it means something, it's highlighted. Not in Python, but it's just conventional to still use it. I mean, it's good practice. You can again use anything as long as it's consistent up here as it is down here. So whatever you are going to use as your placeholder, that's what you have to call to print. So for character in word, we'll say print, we'll spell it right, char. So can you guess what it will do? Let's put our, oh, I changed the whole thing there. What am I doing? Okay, let's run it. And perfect. It prints out each letter. Now, you might be thinking like, well, what if I wanted everything printed on the same line? Okay, fair enough. So one thing to know is the print statement has this default thing right here, and it's called a new line character. Now we've went over this a million times. This is something that I like to add to all my statements, all my print statements, all my code. So if I have anything that's like, if we do something like integer, equals input, enter a number. I always do, what am I doing? I always do that, and basically what it does is it'll throw, well, we'll just do it, enter a number down here, and instead of you typing right there on the same line, it forces your input to be below it. It just looks better. And so this is by default placed at the end, it's invisible, of these print statements. And if you wanted to do something other than that, you have to say so, which is why you see every letter in Franklin put on a line below each other. So in order to fix that, it's pretty simple, comma, and then you're going to write end equals, no space, and we're just going to do that. We'll just do parentheses, or I mean, gosh, I can't ever say them right. What am I saying? Quotations. So let's run this. Franklin. All right. Okay. And then you can do something else. Like, let's put a space. Another space. And you see here. Again, I mean, you could literally, you could put whatever you want, and it'll separate it. It's up to you. Another thing, while we're on the subject here, you can do reversed, which is a little pre-built function that allows you to do this in reverse. And so you have like Franklin backwards. Works the same. And then again, if we take away our specific instructions on how to print it, it will return to, if I can do it right, printing everything on the line below each other. And again, just so as we're clear, boom, and yeah, Franklin. Okay. On to the next thing. Now you can see how this would be useful, because maybe you don't know what Word is, right? Maybe you don't have access to this, and you need to know how many. Let's say you had a program that people input Word all the time, and you need to know how long it is. We do print, we do len, and then parentheses, and then char, and then we run it. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So it's gonna and that's because of the way that we have it for char in Word, print length of char. So it's printing out each of these, and it's saying the length of each of these is 1, right? So a different way of doing that would be just writing, just doing this. You just put Word, and then it has 8 characters. Okay, so moving on to the next one. The next one we're going to use the for loop in is a list. And so we will put our list here. I have this list from last time. And we have fruits: apple, grape, orange, banana, kiwi, blueberry, strawberry. So this is interesting. We can do some cool things here. So for fruit in, and then you name the list, fruits. For fruit in fruits, so we're going to loop through, that's what we're saying. Why is this like this? Okay. Then we tell it what we want. Print, let's just say fruit, and see what it does. Okay. So apple, grape, orange, banana, kiwi, blueberry, strawberry. This placeholder assumes the identity of the first index and prints it and loops through it until you get to the end of it. This is similar to what I should have probably started out with, which is range. So range is also extremely useful. So we'll say for x in range. Yeah, so you have to do length. This isn't an integer, so that's why we got this. Like you're trying to basically use two different data types, and you get the type error. And so you would have to use the length. So this is always going to have a number attached to it. So let's run it like this. Okay, so let's copy this out real fast, just so you can see. Okay, it is saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it prints this out the number of times this is long, which is 7. This is really useful, and it sort of brings us to the next spot. So what if you want to print out a list and you want to print the items in the list, but you also want to print the index that they're at, right? And so we will be introducing the concept of enumerate. I'll go ahead and put that here. Enumerate here. For index, and then you put your placeholder, fruit. So how we would normally say for fruit in fruits, right? You're just adding index beforehand because you're going to be able to print out the item itself and where it's at, right? So for index, comma, and then our placeholder, fruit in, and then here's where you would put fruits, except we don't. We put enumerate, parentheses. Now we put fruits. Now we're doing something special. So check it. We do our curly brackets, and we say index, come outside that, and we do our placeholder fruit, which is again going to assume the value of each of these, and of course this is going to catalog where we're at in the list. So let's print this out and see what it looks like. Boom. Alright, so you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can already see how, in a million ways this could be extremely useful. And you already see there's something that could be happening here. I don't know if you're seeing a pattern, but this is sort of like a dictionary. So we've kind of made a makeshift dictionary. And of course we can just make one, but you see these are two values now paired together, the index and the item itself. And then for fruit and fruits, we can print I like fruit. So let's print this out. See what it looks like. Oop. I like apple, I like grape, I like orange, I like, so you can run a whole thing. Now you could use this for, man, let's say you had a video call and everybody's done Zoom and you get on, you have to enter your name, and you could write a program where as soon as somebody logs in, which is a little bit different, you would just use a function, but I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to look at the entire list of people and print out, I'm so glad you came, name, I'm so glad you came, name, you could use a for loop for name in names. Print, I'm very happy you came, such and such. And as you see, it would just auto-populate it down there, and then everybody feels loved. And yeah, they come back quicker the next time you do a Zoom call. So, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.